So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. We could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
$1 billion over the next 10 years to make it the year of the vaccines. What does that mean exactly?
Well, over this decade, we believe unbelievable progress can be made, both inventing new vaccines, making sure they get out to all the children who need them. We could cut the number of children who die every year from about 9 million to half of that if we have success on it. And the benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth, it really allows the society a chance to take care of itself. And the benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth, We've seen now there's a type of foreign assistance for vaccines or for AIDS treatment that are incredibly effective. These are all about saving lives. And the good news is that as you make those breakthroughs, the population growth in the country goes down. These are all about saving lives. The population growth in the country goes down. The good news is the population growth in the country goes down.
Mr. Gates' constant reiterating of the benefit of these shots being able to reduce the number of humans in the world may seem completely bizarre, unless you also happen to read section 13 on the insert of almost every inoculation created, which requires that they admit that not only have they not been tested for the ability to cause the big C, that rhymes with answer, but also have not been tested for genetic mutation or the ability to, quote, impair fertility. Nice. But the last incredibly pertinent thing I'll show you regarding this entire CV issue and the whole video would be this study right here. Huge eye-opener regarding why there needs to be proper testing of these frequencies as well as of the SHOTS for mutations. Check this out. Quote, exposure to 50 Hertz electromagnetic field induces activation of the Epstein-Barr virus genome. The abstract ends by saying, this finding provides additional evidence that DNA can be modulated by a magnetic field. Oh, you mean those untested electromagnetic fields that they're going to start freeing up and cranking all over America? They could activate mutations of dormant VIRUSs from DNA? DNA from what? And why would we have latent viruses and random DNA in us to begin with?
Do any of the vaccines on the childhood schedule contain monkey kidney cells?
Well, the polio vaccine does.
Are you aware of any simian, monkey, viruses, meaning viruses that come from primates, that contaminated polio vaccines and infected individuals receiving the polio vaccine?
Yes, SV40.
Okay. And what does SV40 stand for?
Simian virus 40.
Okay. And was it the 40th simian virus found? Is that
Yes.
why it's called? Are you aware of any virus from any animal other than simian or bovine that is in any vaccine?
Yes, there's a pig virus present in one of the rotavirus vaccines.
Can you go to Kinrix on the first page?
Yes.
Tap IPV. Do you see in the third line down, it says calf serum? Do any vaccines on the childhood schedule contain embryonic guinea pig cell cultures?
Varicella vaccine was passaged in guinea pig cells.
Do any vaccines contain gelatin from pigs?
Yes.
Do any vaccines on the childhood vaccine schedule contain human albumin?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What is human albumin?
Human albumin is part of human serum. It's part of the blood that is liquid.
Do any vaccines on the childhood schedule contain MRC5 human diploid cells?
Yes. Rubella, varicella, hepatitis A.
What are MRC5 cells?
They are human fibroblast cell strain They were created by taking fetal tissue and from a particular fetus that was aborted by maternal choice, and the cells, the so-called fibroblast cells, were cultivated.
If you could turn to page 3 for MMR and MMRV. Do you see that within the ingredient list that lists WI38, human diploid lung fibroblasts?
Yes, I do see that.
Isn't it true that human DNA in vaccines is typically purposely fragmented?
Yes,
This study involved 74 fetuses.
76.
76. And these fetuses were all 3 months or older when aborted, correct?
Yes.
What organs did you harvest from these fetuses?
A whole range of tissues were harvested by co-workers.
Okay. And these pieces were then cut up into little pieces, right?
Yes.
And they were cultured?
Yes.
Okay. Some of the pieces of the fetuses were pituitary gland that were chopped up into pieces to, okay, included the lung,
Yes.
okay, included the skin,
Yes.
kidney,
Yes.
spleen,
Yes.
heart,
Yes.
and tongue.
I don't recall, but yeah, probably yes.
Are you an atheist?
Yes.
Okay. When you were a child, what vaccines did you receive?
Diphtheria. In childhood, I think it was probably only diphtheria.
That doozy of a deposition you just saw was of the grandfather of vaccines himself, admitting a plethora of dormant VIRUSs from a variety of animals and DNA, as well as cultured tissue from aborted human beings, placed all cozy-like right inside of the SHOTS that many of us have already received. Could this be from where these pieces of DNA capable of mutating are derived? I don't know. What do you think?